They always gonna show you what they are planning to do by a form of satire, entertainment, fake protocol. But there's this other one called seers. So we have this other one, severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome, okay? Entero means the gut, the stomach virus, okay? Respiratory deals with the lungs, all right? Your respiratory system. I'm sure you guys heard of the word seers, but let's look up the word seers. So the true meaning of a seer is a person with prophetic vision, someone who sees beyond the physical to perceive future events or spiritual truths, often through visions, dreams, or deep insight, acting as a prophet or wise guide. Somebody that has supernatural insight to see what the future holds. Now, remember what I told you about how corona means crown of the sun. A corona is a most commonly defined as an outermost tenuous atmosphere of the sun, visible as a crown of light during a total solar eclipse. Okay, so it's like a crown-like silhouette around the sun. When the coronavirus happened, the sun was emitting solar flares. The solar flares was popping crazy off the sun. So it was emitting a certain amount of frequencies towards the planet, which was quote unquote unlocking DNA or unlocking that 12th strand of those amino acids within the body, the jab that locked the DNA up. Yes, Christ has already returned. Christ is currently here. The sun, the S-O-N-S-U-N, the crown. Who wore the crown when they were hanging on the cross? Christ. The son was wearing the crown while he was hanging on the cross. So Christ has already returned. And when Christ is still returning as we speak, they are going to try their best to lock up that DNA. So when we see this other seers, right, and we read that seers means somebody that can foretell the future, and anybody that's foretelling the future, psychic, clairvoyant, all those type of special superhuman capabilities, they are able to do those things because they're tapping into that unlocked DNA. You staying with me? You staying with me? So if we have a seers epidemic, not only is it attacking the gut, but it's attacking the respiratory, the chi. Like in my last video I talked about, the chi, the breath. That's why I said it's very important for you and us. We have to stop consuming certain foods, right? Because what we're consuming can possibly lower our vibration. Now, although this virus is just a scenario and it's not real and it's fictional, I don't trust them. I don't trust y'all. But it's important for you to watch what you put in your mouth. Do not be a slave to your stomach, like the Bible says. What we are eating is going to prevent DNA from being unlocked, especially if the food contains a certain amount of levels of heavy metals in them, okay? Not only are we eating flesh and taking on those parasites, and we're taking on those energies and that frequency of those animals who were slaughtered, right? It's lowering your vibration, and it's causing all type of inflammation and diabetes and high blood pressure, right? And it can cause irritation to your gut lining, right? Which can lead to an enterovirus such as this. Not only that, your stomach is the solar plexus, okay? So your gut is connected to your brain. And then we're talking about the respiratory syndrome. Respiratory, because like I said, they're spraying the skies with heavy metals. They're blocking out the sunlight, preventing the sun from penetrating Mother Earth with that light code DNA. Think of the light code or the solar flares as sperm, okay? And they're preventing the jizz from getting to Mother Nature to impregnate her, right? Cock blocking. That's what they're doing. So they're poisoning the air, which is going to cause a respiratory syndrome in us. Not only are we going to have a respiratory syndrome issue, we're going to have an enterovirus issue because you want to keep eating motherfucking McDonald's and hog miles of chicklets. So once again, this is hypothetical, right? This is a hypothetical. Let me show it again. This is a hypothetical respiratory illness, using a scenario, you know what I'm saying? And here we are. So they're telling you what they did. They came out with this in 2025. They're telling you what they gonna do. They're calling it a seer because there's gonna be 144,000 people who are gonna be able to access those natural abilities and becoming seers, okay? They're going to be able to foretell what's going to happen in the future. So to prevent that, they're going to cause another virus to prevent that shit from happening. And y'all motherfuckers gonna go right back to let them jab you up. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to keep your job. Because you want to go to the club. Because you want to be able to travel outside the fucking country. Sit your ass down somewhere. That's the problem. You don't want to learn how to sit down. You don't want to learn how to sit down and just sit in you. And so it's like, if you allow them to do that, you're not a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be easily fooled. You know, you can be easily tricked. The crown of the sun. The crown of the sun is the solar flares. Those solar flares was unlocking our DNA, was waking Mother Nature up. This is why they're crossing the X's in the sky, is because it's all about the X divine feminine. Okay? That's all it's about. So it's like they telling you what they doing. You just gotta pay attention. You just gotta dissect that shit. You gotta utilize the senses that God has given you to decipher what the fuck is going on. You know, the more conscious you become about what their plans are, the more they gotta reroute and detour to something else.